So, I want to take a few minutes now to tell you a little bit about who I am and how I got involved in working with crystals. So, I grew up in a small town called El Centro. It's on the border of Mexico and California. I grew up Catholic and I loved the power of prayer and the whole rituals and essence of what the Mass represented. But I always knew that there was something more out there. And so when I moved away and went to college, I went to UC Riverside, and I have a political science and sociology degree. But I also was very interested in religious studies. And so I started learning about the different cultures, about how different cultures practice healing and the different rituals and beliefs of healing work. And one of the things that I started learning about was crystals. And in Riverside, they had a small little metaphysical store that I would go to, and there was crystals and incense and books that I could read about all kinds of natural ways to heal and all different cultures of how they used healing. And I picked up this book called The Crystal Medicine. I got this in 1997, so it's very old. And I started learning about how to apply crystals in my life. And when I really got active was I started learning about chakras. And I got a book by Doreen Virtue, and she would take you through a guided meditation using chakras. And so one of her meditations was on using your intuition. So I remember sitting in my apartment and I was practicing, how to listen to my intuition, and I kept hearing, go get the rocks, or there's rocks, just get the rocks. So I was like, I was open. I said, okay, let's go. And I went, and there was a bunch of rocks near my house. So I gathered all the rocks, went back to my room, and I made a circle. And I sat in the circle and I would do my meditations. And throughout the years, I just would play with the rocks and I would make little designs and I would sit in the circle. And at the time, I didn't know, but it's called sacred geometry. And it just was natural to me. It just felt good. I could feel the energy from the earth of the rocks. So to jump forward to 2008, in LA, there's a store in Atwater Village called the Crystal Matrix. And I walked in and it was just magical. It was high vibration, all these beautiful crystals, all different shapes and sizes. There was jewelry, everything that you can imagine. I mean, I was just on cloud nine. I felt so comfortable. I felt so safe. It just was surreal to me. And I noticed that there was some classes that were going to be starting, and the owner, Patricia, was um, teaching the class. And so I ended up getting certified as a transcrystal therapist in 2009. And I really hadn't formed what I wanted to use with crystals. I mean, I had just always thought of crystals as something personal for myself. Moving into 2016, I've gotten so much clearer about who I am as a healer. And as I've grown personally and as I've grown in my business, I really wanted to share and give back the knowledge that I've learned over my lifetime, over these past few decades, about the healing properties, the healing powers that crystals can offer you in your life. So one tip I'd like to leave with you today is to start putting crystals in your water. When I got pregnant, I immediately put crystals into my water. So the whole time I was pregnant, my son was getting the crystallized water. And ever since then, I just have continued to have the crystals in my water. And I do notice my energy level is more balanced, I have more energy, and I do change my crystals from time to time because sometimes I want to feel a certain way or I need a certain type of vibration to change within me. So I feel that as I replenish my body with the water, with the crystallized water, I do feel the transformation, and I'd love for you to experience that yourself. Until next time, bye.